Right, so today we're going to be talking about sight reading, the very dreaded thing most people worry about, whether it's in an exam or whether you've got to learn something. It takes time to practice when you're not good at sight reading. So we're going to try and address some of these issues today. I'm going to start right from the beginning. So if you're a grade 8 player, this video will be probably of no use whatsoever to you. However, if you're starting out playing the piano and you want to get better, or you've been playing for a few years and you still feel like you're totally rubbish at sight reading, I'm going to try and help you work through some exercises today, and we'll see if we can develop some skills. So it doesn't have to take 10 years to get good at sight reading. What I've got here is a book called The Sight Reading Source Book by a guy called Alan Bullard, who actually I used to know because I used to have him as a teacher when I was at college many years ago. But this is just coincidence because this book I happened to find many years ago, and it's a great book because it gets you working through the most easy exercises, and gradually there's other books in the series, grade 2, grade 3 level and so on. So we're going to talk through some of these today, starting actually with what will appear on your screen as exercise 1. Okay, so what we're going to try and do, we're going to look at counting crotchets in time. Very, very basic exercise in note reading. We have to establish a good sense of pulse when we play. And sight reading also, we need to be very steady when we play an exercise. So we're going to look at exercise 1 now. And what I want you to do is to study this. If you've got a keyboard in front of you, which would be a very useful thing, you can actually pause the video before I play it and see if you can work it out, and then you can compare what I'm playing with what you've just played. Now, early on, this is probably going to be very easy, but we're going to work further and further through the book and carry on getting more and more advanced. Okay, so this is right at the very beginner level. So study the music, have a look at it now. If you think you can work it out and you want to pause the video, do so. I'm going to play it now. Okay, so I'm getting my hand in such a position that my thumb is on middle C. My left hand thumb also has to cover middle C. Don't forget, if you're sight reading a short exercise of, say, 8 bars, you want to scan all the way through and make sure that you've already got your other hand ready if you can. So in exercise 1, my right hand is in what we'll call C position, covering those 5 notes. Left hand thumb is also on middle C because we can see that coming in at bar 5. Now, before you play anything that's a sight reading exercise, it's a very important thing to develop the sense of counting in before you begin. And it's no good going 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's going to be way too fast to be able to sight read something easily. So you have to develop the ability to count at a slow, steady pulse, slow enough that you can work through it. Okay, and even then it might be difficult. So we're going to have a look at this now. Here we go. I'm going to count to 4, then I'm going to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. C, 2, 3, 4. Rest. C, 2, 3, 4. So a couple of points here. We made sure we didn't start too quickly. We gave ourselves a tempo that was steady. Before we played, we counted ourselves in. We noticed the crotchet rests. You saw them there in bar 2 and in bar 6, that little detail of just coming off the note, and also noticing the semi-breathes and giving them their full value. So there was a very basic exercise, only using 3 notes in each hand. Now we're going to go up a little bit to a slightly more challenging exercise, but still very easy really. Exercise 4, andante, which of course means at a walking pace. It's exactly the same speed as the first exercise. So exercise 4, again you could pause the video before I play it so you can see if you can work it out. I'm going to play it now. Once again, my thumb is on middle C, and my left hand is not going to start on middle C this time. It's going to start on what note? Can you work it out? Bar 5, it's a G. Yes, all cows eat grass, as they often say, for left-hand spaces. So my thumb is now on G, which means my left hand is actually covering that kind of similar positioning to the right hand. Okay, so both hands are kind of in C position. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. Always respecting the semi-breves, their full length, they're giving them the 4 beats value. Now, do remember that any of these exercises I'm playing, you can join in and play with me, because I'm always going to count in the beat. If you need to go back and you want to practice even the first 2 exercises, you can do that. Listen to me counting it in and then just join in and play. Right, we're going to go up a few gears very quickly soon. So we're now going to go to exercise number 2. Which doesn't start on C. If you look at it carefully, it starts on E. Okay, so we have to get used very early on to playing in different hand positions. It's no good just always playing in the key of C. We're moving up to what we might think of as E position. My thumb is on E. I still don't have to worry about any black notes on the piano yet. I'm still playing just white notes. But we've got to get used to the idea that no longer is our thumb on C now. Our thumb is on E, which means F is number 2 and G is number 3. We also have A coming up in bar number 3. Always try and scan ahead when you're sight reading to see what are the highest and lowest notes in that section. So I'm starting on E. My highest note in bar 3 is A. Left hand starts on what note? Can you tell me? It's on a D. It's the D above middle C. So once again, a very unusual hand position here. That means number 2 is on C and number 3 is on B. And if we scan a little bit further along towards the end of the exercise, we also see the A, which will be finger number 4. All of these things take time to get used to doing, playing in different hand positions. So let's give number 2 a go. Once again, you could pause it and try and play it on your own. And then you can listen to me playing, or you can just join in with me now. So let's see if we can get notice our thumbs are next door to each other here. E with the thumb in the right hand and the thumb in the left hand on D. Okay, still using a very careful tempo, not going too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Every time I'm striking those semi-breves, that counts as beat 1, of course. 2, 3, 4. Make sure you hold them down. So, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, congratulations, because we're going to carry on. We're going to try 2 more, and then that will complete the page. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to exercise 3, where it says allegretto. All of these words tend to be Italian. That's written above the exercises. They're all to do with tempo usually. Allegretto is just moving along, basically. It's not quick, but it's fairly quick. However, in sight reading practice, we should always just keep the tempo nice and careful and slow until we get to a point where we're getting really good at reading the notes. So let's look at number 3. What does the right hand start on? It starts on G. And then the left hand, if we look carefully, we're seeing that same note we had at the beginning of the left hand part in exercise 2, the D above middle C. Okay, so this is what we've got. And in fact, if we look at our hands on the piano, what do we notice about that? My right hand thumb is on G. I'm covering like a G scale. And the left hand, because my thumb is on D, I'm covering the same hand position. Always look out for similarities when you're sight reading. Are my hands in the same positions, an octave apart? Okay, let's go for it. We're going to do exercise 3. Once again, you could pause and try it on your own, or play along with me if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. D, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. G, 2, 3, 4. Notice so far I haven't had to worry about dynamics, I haven't had to worry about the louds and the softs, anything like that. We're keeping it very straightforward at this point. We're just trying to develop the sense of being able to play along to a pulse and reading basic notes. So we're going to go on now to the final one here. Exercise 5 we're going to try. Adagio means slowly. So we're going to try this. What's the starting note of the right hand? D. And what's the starting note of the left hand part in bar 5? Can you work it out? It's A. Okay, so the left hand thumb is going on the top line A. And if we're observant, once again, look at your hands. You'll notice both hands are covering the same note ranges. D to A. Okay, so we're covering that position in both parts. Let's try this. Okay, so once again, you can pause the video if you want to try it on your own, and we can play along together if you want. Okay, here we go. Exercise 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, rest. Rest. 2, 3, 4. That's it. So basic principles we've applied to the whole of this page now. Always counting yourself in slowly and making sure you're looking out for little details like those semi-breathes being held down or the rests. Okay, so that's the end of that page. If you need to take a break, please do. But I'm going to carry on going through this book and gradually teaching you more advanced things.